Wastelanders. Christopher here, Gaslands NorCal. Thanks for joining me once again for another conversion video. Now, I've been doing a few food trucks lately, and I haven't been filming, which I really wish I had, because the last one I did was a hot dog food truck, and it turned out just absolutely phenomenal. Had a little hot dog on the front. Even the driver and the gunner and everything were in hot dog outfits. It was cool as hell. So I'm going to try to do the same kind of thing, but not using hot dogs this time. You'll have to wait and see what's really going to happen. But for this video, I'm going to be using the Tropical Series food truck, ice cream truck from Hot Wheels. Looks like it's collector number 693, if anybody cares. Anyway, so that's what we're going to be doing this time. We're going to strip it all apart, repaint it, jack it up, stick some really cool weapons and everything on there, and make a really cool kind of special food truck. So that's what we're going to do this time, so stick around. But first things first, we got to get this baby apart, get her into the stripper. Alright, so we're all printed, stripped, painted, primed, repainted, whatever. I did it in yellow. I did not use the spray prime that spray yellow that I used last time with my MFP build, which probably is kind of a mistake. You can see it's a little bit thicker on the edges, kind of like me. But it'll work out fine. Next, we're going to go through and agrax it just to get a little more grimy, make it a little more wastelands. I did some decals just on AI. If you can see those, they are indeed bananas, because that's what we're going to do this time. This food truck is going to be Banana Army food truck. Got some just basic bananas that I printed off that we're going to be using. Stick some on the top. I think I'm going to use some for a ram, which will be pretty cool. I got these warriors from Mr. Big Tong, I think it is, on Thingiverse. They've got some AK-47s with a banana clip. Also have some with some laser weapons or high-powered heavy weapons and stuff. Gonna see if I can get at least one, if not two of these guys on the inside so their weapons are facing out, and hopefully you'll be able to see them. Even got a driver. He did have a sword and everything. I'm probably gonna have to trim him up, but that should be looking pretty cool. Got the wheels and the jacked up lift kit and everything going on, so that's gonna be cool. And then the inside, we're going to have to change the color because that's going to look stupid green. So let's get everything all primed up with black and just some probably light tan before you actually start painting them up. Get the body all agraxed and get this thing going. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. The banana theme is pretty killer. So let's get it all faced up. Alright, so we got everything all painted up, put back together. I got the people in there, and I had to go through several people, miniatures, trying to get the legs and arms trimmed off just right so they don't, so they're still, so you can still see them and stuff and not break all apart. So this is not a very pretty process, so skipped over that. Maybe I should do a blooper reel sometime. There's a lot of colorful language, so. Got all the army all painted up and ready to go. These guys are just awesome. I love how on the AK-47s they even have a little banana clip. So next up, we're going to get everything put together. Got the decals and stuff all ready to go. I have a ram all set on here. My wife took one look at it and said, "Oh, is the name of the truck Bananarama?" Why, yes it is. It is now. So that's going to go on there and look very cool. So yeah. Let's get everything all together. We'll get the decals on there, get some of the fine detail work, the front silver and the bumper silver, and the headlights and taillights and everything else. Even though I don't think you'll see the headlights, but still, we'll get them all together. And then we'll take it to the next step. But yeah, coming together really well. Potassium-filled nightmare. So let's get it together. Alrighty, So got the decals and everything on there, looking very cool. Banana-rama and nanners. This is a couple bananas with a pistol and some on the back, both sides obviously. Now, before we start getting everything back together, or all together rather, get the RAM and the weapons and everything on there, almost forgot one major detail: need some chipping. Not just for the weathering, but also since it's very banana in color, it's going to make it look like it's all bruised up, which, being in the Wastelands and going through some vehicular combat and everything, it's going to get all bruised up. So let's do some chipping and then we'll start getting everything back together. But yeah, this thing's coming along very, very nicely. Loving the decals, and it's just all coming together. Loving it. So let's chip. Alright, so chipping is all done, looking very cool, looking not just chipped, but bruised like a old banana, or a used banana, or a jostled around banana, or whatever. Got a little more of the detail work done, got some lights and stuff on there, the top lights and everything. So before we get it on the lift kit with the wheels and everything, I'm going to cover up where the wheel wells are at, which I don't do all the time, I do sometimes. But I've got some plates I'm going to put on the back to cover those up. And then for the front, I'm going to put the exhaust on there. That's going to fit in pretty well and cover that up. And it's just going to be easier to get that done now before I get it on the lift kit than try to jimmy it in there after I do it. Then we'll get the RAM and everything on there, the front and the rear RAM, the weapons and everything on there. Got some crates with some netting I'm going to stick on the top, because you can't be a banana truck if you're not hauling bananas. I'm going to cover up the driver's side just a little bit with some mesh, like so. Well, like, get that on there. So I'll get that on there, get it all glued down, everything, and get that weathered up a little bit, and put some armor on the back window. And then we'll go on to the how we're going to do the bananas on top, and I'll go into that once I get to it. So first, let's get the wheel wells covered up, and then we'll get it all together, and then then we'll go from there. But looking very cool. Absolutely loving it. Let's cover up some wheel wells. Alright, so the wheel wells and everything are covered. Got the exhaust and stuff on there, looking very cool. The mesh over the driver's door. Got it all mounted and everything. It's looking very cool. Now, before we go through and finish everything up, get the RAM and the weapons and stuff on there, I wanted to talk about how I'm going to do the bananas. They're going to be bouncing along up top. A long time ago, I got some of this Gale Force 9 barbed wire, and it works fine. I think it's not really meant for this scale. The coils of the wire for the barb part are a little big, but it works okay. But I did find that when you take a length of it and you wrap it around, say, a paintbrush, and then pull it off, it becomes very springy, and it's easy to work with on this level. More the minute level, getting it to go here and there, it's not quite as easy, but like this, it works out really cool. So that's how I made this little spring thing, which I'm going to glue to the top of the truck and have the bananas sitting on top like so. Well, if I can get them, once I get them glued on there, they'll stay obviously, and they'll bounce along up top like that, which will represent the nanners. And then we'll get the weapons and everything on there as well. So that's how I did the springy thing for the top. So let's get everything all together. We'll get it all dusted up, and then this thing will be good to go. But yeah, absolutely loving how this is turning out, and the miniatures and the decals and everything are just awesome. So let's finish it up and dust it up, and then we'll take some glamour shots, and this thing will be good to go, ready for the Wasteland. So let's do it. Alrighty, and there we have it. One banana-themed food truck for the Wastelands. Took the minis from Mr. Big Tong, I think I said it, on Thingiverse. Covered up the wheel wells. Got this awesome banana-rama. Got the boingy bananas on the top, some weathering, decals and everything. It just really turned out really well. I really enjoy how this build went. The minis are just absolutely outstanding. Loving it. This thing's going to be badass for the Wastelands. I mean, it's got a couple of guns on the front and a ram. I'd have to spec it out to see, but this would be a lot of fun to run, just to watch how it goes. Going through like a death race or something. I can imagine it in the final scene of Twisted Metal where they're going through and fighting the police force and everything else. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, do me a favor and hit that like button. My goal is to do weekly videos, whether vehicle builds, terrain builds, battle reports, whatever. So if that's for you, hit the sub button below and ring the bell to get notified when new content drops. I do sell all my builds pretty inexpensively on my Etsy page, so if you want to pick something up, see what else I've done, you can even request a custom build. If you'd really like to show some love, head on over to my Patreon page and get signed up. Every bit helps keep the paint flowing, the printer printing, and the camera rolling. Until next time, keep your foot on the gas and your finger on the trigger. Gaslands and NorCal, signing out.
Yeah.